Hello, gossipers. How's everyone doing? It's the day before Thanksgiving. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching and listening. Now, you come across some stories and you're saying to yourself, what's going on in this world? Are people that like serial just do people like this exist? That's how shocked you are at some of the stories. A story came out of a woman. She was said they think she was dead and they sent her off to be cremated, only for her to knock on, I guess, in the box that she was supposed to be cremated in, and they opened the box and there she is alive. And you're like, does a story like this really truly exist? And they do. They do. Now, this one we're going to talk about. This is a necrophiliac. They're comparing him to Jeffrey Dahmer, which is, I guess, someone who, after unaliving someone, sleeping. You know what? I'm going to read the story. So, this is about a man. He's been convicted of the killing of his wife, and then he dug her up and ard her body, her corpse. Digged her up after she was buried and had sex with the corpse. So this all went down in I think November of 2022. They were going through a divorce. And I know that he's slated to be sentenced on January 12th, and they found him guilty. So we're going to read this article from TMZ, and it says, necrophiliac. I killed my wife, dug her up, and ard her corpse. A California man ripped a page out of Jeffrey Dahmer necrophilia handbook. He was just found guilty of emming his estranged wife, then digging up and arding her corpse. Oh my lord. Zarab Ali was found guilty last Friday by a juror of fatally stabbing Rachel Castillo with a knife as the two were on the verge of finalizing their divorce in Semi Valley in November 2022. He faces a life sentence without parole and is slated to be sentenced January 12th of 2026. Before the trial, Ali told investigators he hid in Rachel's apartment, ambushed her, and butchered her body. He then drove her corpse to a spot in a remote desert in Antelope Valley and buried her in a shallow grave. He returned the next morning and sexually assaulted her before burying her body again. In a video confession to police, Ali noted that if I didn't commit to being a monster, then she would have died for no reason. So basically saying, guess what? I'm a monster and this is what monsters do. Oh my gosh. Ali shares some things in common with Dahmer, who killed many of his male victims to have sex with their corpse. Dahmer also tried to dig up the corpse of a one-time love interest. Yes, so yeah, gossipers, your thoughts. Sorry to bring this, but wow. And then someone in the comments said, what's the problem? It's his wife, Megyn Kelly. So if you don't know, Megyn Kelly is a broadcaster, and she was comparing, 8-year-olds compared to 15-year-olds when it comes to, Jeffrey Epstein. As making it sound like, oh, a 15-year-old, yes, they know what's going on. Maybe they lied about their age. But then an 8-year-old, no, that's bad. So basically, that's what, people thought she would have gotten canceled for. But she, no, nobody is canceling her, because guess what? She has a fan base and people who think like her, who is keeping her afloat. But yes, you killed your wife, buried her, dug her up just to have sex with a dead body. And he called himself a monster. He said only a monster would kill someone, let alone his wife. I don't know what's going on. And people will talk about mental health and this and that. And some will be like, no, he's just wicked. He knew what exactly. But no, something mentally had to be going on in his head for him to think that was a good thing to do. And the consequences. Now, this is not like he surprised her or anything. He was planning it, because what he said, he went to her apartment basically, and I guess he broke in and hid until she got home. Yeah, he said he hid in her apartment, ambushed her, and butchered her body. So this is something he was planning, knowing that the consequences might be you're going to go to prison for murder, this and that. But then to go to that extreme, to have sex with her dead, oh my God. Anyways, gossipers, what are your thoughts? What do you think is going on in this world? What exactly is going on in this world? Anyways, as always, please like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching and listening.